We begin with breaking news at noon. Denver Mayor Mike Johnston says the city will have to implement furloughs and put a hiring freeze in place because of a massive budget deficit. The mayor says the city faces a $250 million hole through the next 2 years. There's a $50 million revenue gap this year and an expected $200 million gap in 2026. The mayor blamed the uncertain economy and lower than projected revenue growth. To help get finances on track, the city is taking several measures. A hiring freeze is in effect starting right now. All city employees will have to take a furlough ranging from 2 to 7 days based on a tiered system. The mayor also says layoffs are inevitable, but did not say who or how many employees that would impact.
The truth is this is hard, and this is going to be hard. And the truth is it's also hard in this city to raise 2 kids and not be able to pay your rent every month. It's hard to watch your retirement that you worked 40 years to build to evaporate by 20 or 30% when the stock market collapses. The truth is it's hard when it costs $100 to take your family to the movies. That is true. And Denverites who face those hard moments every day have to find a way to live within their means, and they deserve a government that does the same. And so we will take on that hard truth.
The mayor says the city will also limit spending and restructure contracts. We will continue to follow the story and bring you more throughout the day. Overnight, the U.S. House passed President Trump's massive tax break package, but it barely passed with a 215 to 214 vote. It now heads on over to the Senate. The bill extends Trump-era tax cuts, adds new ones, and it cuts spending on Medicaid and adds new work requirements. Democrats have been fighting the bill, saying millions of people could lose benefits, and the federal deficit will go up by nearly $4 trillion over 10 years. A judge has blocked Trump's executive order to shut down the U.S. Education Department. The federal judge also ordered the Education Department to reinstate employees who were fired in March in anticipation of the dismantling. He said the massive cuts would, quote, likely cripple the agency. Trump also still needs Congress's approval to dismantle the department. More than a dozen researchers, including a Coloradan, is suing the National Institutes of Health over medical research funding. The group is asking a federal court to reinstate their grants and allow their work to continue. The scientists, who all study LGBTQ issues, argue the grant cancellations are discriminatory and unconstitutional. Among them is Dr. Heather Littleton of the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, who is midway through a 3-year clinical trial when her funding was abruptly cut. Well, switching gears here, the sun is out. The heat's getting turned up a bit in the metro today. Joining me now, Jaden Knowles with our 9 News Weather Impact team. Jaden, we're soaking up some nice weather right now because there should be, or there will be some storms on the horizon for the weekend.
Yes, definitely as we head into your holiday weekend, we can see that uptick in storm activity. But today we should stay dry, maybe an isolated shower or two towards the eastern plains. Right now, though, looking at your current temperatures, I mean, we're in the low to mid 60s, the upper 60s at DIA. So, yeah, it's just getting pretty steamy out there and even warmer as we head into tomorrow. So your current temperatures right now, the eastern plains, the upper 60s, the high country, look at that, 60s and 70s right now. So, yes, it feels like a prelimps of summer almost. Live radars, not much going on, but once again, as we head into the latter parts of this afternoon, we could see an uptick in shower activity towards the east. There's our next storm system that's going to bring us all the rain and also maybe a potential for some severe weather as we head into the weekend as well. Today, though, look at that, 79 degrees, partly cloudy skies. There's that 20% brief gusty shower from the Virga that we could see later on this afternoon as well. But your headlines and what we can expect: warmer today, warmer tomorrow, those isolated storms that I talked about. And we're going to talk more in detail about your holiday weekend in our full forecast. Sam?
Jaden, thank you. All right, well, serious story here. Multiple people are believed to be dead after the private plane they were in crashed into a San Diego neighborhood, then exploded this morning. And amazingly, no one on the ground was hurt. Fire officials say jet fuel and plane debris was spread throughout the neighborhood, and many vehicles caught fire as the plane skidded down the street. At least 10 homes were damaged. Authorities are now investigating whether the Cessna plane hit a power line. A fire official added it was also very foggy at that time. The FAA says while they look into the number of deaths, they know the plane can carry 6 to 8 people. The coroner's office has also just released the names of the 2 people killed in the plane crash near Broomfield last Saturday. 80-year-old Eugene Knutson and 70-year-old James Gilad were on the twin-engine Beechcraft when it went down in a field east of the Flatiron Crossing Shopping Center. Investigators say the pilot reported an issue with an open door after taking off from Rocky Mountain Metropolitan Airport. The plane was making its way back to the airport when it crashed. The U.S. Attorney General promises justice after 2 Israeli embassy staff members were shot and killed in Washington, D.C. last night while leaving an event at the Capitol Jewish Museum.
The suspect was observed pacing back and forth outside of the museum. He approached a group of 4 people, produced a handgun, and opened fire. The suspect chanted, "Free, free Palestine," while in custody.
The suspect, 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez of Chicago, was arrested on site last night. Authorities are now looking deeper into his motive. Israel's ambassador to the U.S. says the 2 victims were also a couple about to get engaged. President Trump posted afterward that, quote, "hatred and radicalism have no place in the USA." The district attorney will not be filing charges against Thornton officers who shot a man last year. The officers were trying to arrest a man wanted on a warrant, but as officers approached, they say he tried to walk away. Officers tased him, but say he pulled out a gun and officers opened fire. The man survived his injuries and no officers were hurt.